So in the recent Andor trailer, it was revealed that the show would be delayed. Initially, it was announced that the Andor show would drop on the 31st of August, but as the trailer reveals, things were delayed to the 31st of September, making it a 1-month pushback. For most fans, this was a massive surprise given that Andor had wrapped filming back in September of last year, so it really should have had plenty of time for post-filming work. So what was the real reason for the show's delay? There are plenty of theories floating around, the biggest one being that the delay occurred because of the Disney Plus release schedule. Disney Plus, since its inception, has been providing constant releases between Marvel and Star Wars to keep subscribers interested in the platform, and it's important that new releases are balanced out so that audiences will also have something to look forward to, continuing subscriptions. Which means that every month, there will either be a new Star Wars or new Marvel show being released, which is why you will often find a lot of alternating between Marvel and Star Wars content. However, due to a leak regarding Marvel's Halloween special, and with that supposedly receiving mixed reviews, it seems like Disney might not be as confident of it sustaining interest all the way through November, which was when it was slated to be released. And so, by pushing Andor to late September, it would allow the 12-episode show to release weekly episodes all the way into November itself, allowing Disney to keep people watching until the holiday season, which is certainly a possibility. But it doesn't seem likely that Disney would move the Andor show entirely based on a speculated lower viewership for an upcoming show in November, so there had to be other reasons for such a shift on such short notice. On top of that, Disney had previously tried to release simultaneous content between Marvel and Star Wars by releasing Ms. Marvel around the same time as the Kenobi show, which might actually be one of the reasons why Ms. Marvel received lower viewership counts than normal Marvel shows, leading Disney to consider releasing Andor on a later date. Previously, in the month of August alone, Disney was expected to release 3 new shows: She-Hulk, I Am Groot, and Andor, which is much more congested than before with Kenobi and Ms. Marvel releasing next to each other. So given that the August month is already so congested and unwilling to lose viewership counts for such important shows, spreading out the release date would be perfect for both continuing subscriptions and avoiding lower views. A lot of these reasons definitely sit within the realm of possibility for the Andor show's delay, but it still came as quite a shock given that the delay was only announced a few weeks before the show's original release of August 31st, meaning it's a little surprising that Disney didn't make an adjustment earlier when it could have once it processed the viewership counts of both Kenobi and Ms. Marvel back in mid-July, which would determine whether both shows had cannibalized their respective viewership counts. So they really could have announced the delay of Andor much earlier if the reason was truly all about too much content at one given moment. Personally, I think that if Disney really wanted to make sure that there was fewer content overlap, it really didn't need to wait till the end of September. Instead, it could have easily released Andor mid-September where there isn't any new real content from either Marvel or Star Wars at all. Instead, what likely incentivized the delay of Andor was the release date announcement of 2 massive shows that shared very similar audience demographics. That being the Game of Thrones prequel dropping on the 21st of August on HBO, which was announced on the 22nd of July, and the Amazon Prime Lord of the Rings show, which is slated to be released on the 2nd of September, with the announcement of its release made known on the 18th of July. So what this promises is a very congested, highly competitive time for streaming platforms overall. It wouldn't just be the case that Disney had to contend with split viewerships between its own shows, but it would also have to be able to handle massive Titan-weight shows like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, which threaten the possibility of pulling viewers out of Disney Plus and onto their own respective platforms, that being Amazon Prime and HBO Max. So what is more likely is that Disney saw the announcement and release dates of these shows and decided that instead of putting a show like Andor, which is by far the biggest investment among recent Star Wars projects, in direct competition with these shows, they decided to delay the release to a spot with lower potential for audience saturation. So with a release date of the 31st of September, the other two competing shows by that time would already have their own consistent viewership without taking the attention away from the release of a brand new show like Andor. Because at the end of the day, it's also about who can make the biggest splash in headlines, which would attract new attention and new subscribers. So delaying its release is more of a strategic move to make sure that Andor can shine its own light without being overshadowed by two long-standing and established franchises. So what does this mean for Star Wars fans? While the wait is unfortunate, it's also a good thing as it allows a big Star Wars show like Andor to have its time in the sun, potentially attracting new attention to the Star Wars franchise overall. If you are a fan of all three franchises, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, and Star Wars, this is also a really good thing because it's gonna let you enjoy and experience each of these shows over a longer period of time without having to constantly jump between three shows. And this is also the case for those who might be somewhat interested in checking these shows out. So that is the real reason why Andor was delayed, or at least my understanding of why it was delayed. What do you think? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. I am the Lost Acolyte,
and I have spoken.